I'm just going to introduce our next presenter, or switching out computers and such. We are going to hear now from Carolynn Morris, who is a speaker, a communications expert, a life coach, a travel connoisseur. She attended Utah State University and received her Master of Strategic Communication at Westminster College. She's passionate about authentic connection and believes that all relationships, whether professional or personal, are created, maintained, or destroyed by communication. She has worked in the financial, human capital, and legal industries, but now she is pursuing her passion of speaking, communication consultant, and life coach. And she loves every minute of it. So she is gregarious, fun-loving, outgoing, and always looks for a new person to meet. She's passionate about showing people and empowering people, showing people how to be empowered in their own story and to light the world with their goodness. So without further ado, and as we're pushing some things up here to the front, we will get her computer hooked up. But while she's doing that, I just want to say thank you to the 4 presenters from our Wellness Council. The majority of our audience, our virtual audience, are Wellness Council representatives. And so sharing ideas and getting ideas, feedback that we get from our conferences, that people need that, want that, enjoy that, and appreciate that. And so thank you again to the presenters for doing that. And so without further ado, we'll go ahead and turn the time over to Carolynn Morris. Let's give her a warm welcome.
So I am a huge fan of this theme, from surviving to thriving. When in the history of the last 100 years have we been globally throat punched and had to experience and weather this storm together? I want you to think about something that you have personally learned about yourself over the past 12 to 18 months. What did you learn? Because we only fail when we fail to learn. COVID wasn't a failure unless if we failed to learn. Now we're going to run through a few different things of how we can move from a surviving mentality to a thriving mentality. But first, we're going to go through our little agenda. We're going to talk about how are we going to create our composition with intention. There's a big difference between intention and passive composition. Shredding the shoulds. I am very passionate about this topic, so you may see me get a little more fired up about this arena than others. And then removing armor and connecting. We need to start connecting heart to heart, soul to soul. No more business transactions with people, and silencing the naysayers. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody thinks that you should care about their opinion, but we don't need to. I want you to think about, are you leading a legato or a staccato lifestyle? How many of you are musically talented in here? Musically, like, yeah, I can like sing-ish to the radio. Yeah, radio karaoke, that's my jam. So, but anywhere else, it's like, Carolyn. A staccato is a note that is disconnected. It's detached from the composition. Sometimes it can be really good. Sometimes it's emphasizing a point, and other times it's a train wreck. It's like, why in the world is that staccato there? An example of a staccato in real life, car accident. No one was planning on a staccato, that car accident. No one's planning on you running that red light, or you weren't planning on that person cutting you off and you swerving and you hitting someone else. That's a staccato. That's a staccato. But a legato, it's smooth and connected and tied together. So when you're singing happy birthday to someone, it's all connected. But if I start singing happy birthday to you, you'd be like, whoa, sister, get off the mic. Nobody wants to hear that. It's terrible. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. And so then what happens when we harmonize our compositions? Because it's not just you that you're composing with. This isn't just your composition. Every single person in here is composing together, actually. Your energy, your communication, your job responsibilities, your team, the way that you interact. Are you on your phone when someone's talking to you? That to me is a staccato. And that to me is giving me the biggest bird on the planet, and I will call you on it. I'm like, unless you're taking a picture, like by all means. But you know what I'm saying? Like if we're having a one-on-one conversation and you pull out your phone and you're like, beep, boop, boop. I'm like, oh, karate chop that. Absolutely not. That's a staccato to me. Find out what the staccatos are in your life and remove them. You may have a spouse, you may have kids, because all of a sudden you're composing with the people in your household, whether you're married or not, whether that's roommates or otherwise. How are you composing with intention? How are you really getting this sound that you like? Because if you don't like the sound, change it. Change the sound, change the tune, change the rhythm. Whatever that is, you are in charge of that. And you get to compose it with other people. Like, hey, you know what? Leanne, let's compose together. You know what I'm saying, girl? Like, let's go. You're like, oh, it's a little hesitant. See, that was also part of the composition of like, oh, I'm a little scared to do that. That's okay. That's okay. When you hear the word should, what emotions happen? What emotions do you feel? Name them out loud. And if you're online, type them in, and then Jordan can yell them out, shout them out. What do you feel when you hear the word should? You should do this. You should do that. You shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't be that. Guilt, regret, annoyed, pressure. What else? Retaliation, anger. Should is a 4-letter word to Carolyn Gail Morris. If someone tells me I should do something, that is actually a projection of other people's needs onto you. That is them saying you should do this because I should be doing this because I've adopted somebody else's should that doesn't actually help me. Just like Chad said, we need purpose, we need perspective. If you do not have your purpose that is solely yours, you are going to be shifted and sifted in the shoulds of the world. You have to own that. You have to reclaim the mic in your own mind. Your mental real estate is your private property. There are going to be paparazzis banging at your door left, right, and center, whether that's your neighbor, whether that's your mother-in-law, whether that's the media. Everybody has something to say about how you should or should not live your life or who you should and shouldn't be. But what do you want? What do you need? What must you accomplish to feel satisfied, to feel good about yourself, regardless of other people's external noises? What is that? What does that look like for you? You have to reclaim that personal property. And if you don't, the shoulds are coming in hot. They will not stop. There are between 100 billion and 400 billion stars in the Milky Way. The star that I'm aiming towards may not even be in the same 100 billionth one that you're shooting for. What if you stuck to your North Star? Stick to it. You have to stick to your North Star, or someone else is going to tell you, hey, you know what? You should come to my North Star because you know what? I need you to get me there because I'm not willing to put forth the work. I'm not willing to shut everybody out. Like, you should do this. Stop with the shoulds. Figure out what you need, what you want, and what you must do. If you don't figure out those 3 things, those shoulds are going to eat you alive. Boundaries. I have a firm 80-20 rule. You need to give real-time feedback at least 80% of the time. 20% is for that margin of error where it's like, whoa, I am wildly baffled that this even remotely happened. I need to take a step back and I need to process what just happened. Because if we don't, we're going to avoid, explode, and we become that piñata. And we're going to explode over something that is totally irrelevant. It's not even related to the experience. It's like, whoa, I blew a gasket over something totally unrelated because I wasn't willing to speak my truth. I wasn't willing to communicate with you that this is not okay. Just, hey, you know what? That's outside of my boundaries. This is how I'd like you to recalibrate in the future. This is what feels good to me. What feels good to you? What feels good to us? What does this relationship look like? Because I will tell you this, all relationships, whether professional or personal, are created, maintained, or destroyed by communication. Who can read my mind right now? If you thought I want a Coke Zero, you'd be 100% right. But if you thought otherwise, you'd be way off base. We have to use our words, because if we don't, it's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the person you're interacting with. And it's certainly not fair to the relationship. You have to honor your boundaries. And when people are shooting on you, it's like, oh, you know what? A prime one, PSA, single, not married, Utah. Whoa. Like, well, honey, what's going on? I'm like, you know, like it'll get there when it'll get there. But that is a huge should for me that I have to constantly navigate. You should be married. You should be further along in your relationships. And then I ask them this question: how would this personally impact our relationship? Put it back on them. You know what? That seems like a really heavy statement. How would this impact our relationship? Because you shitting all over me is going to build walls, and it's going to disconnect me from you immediately. We have to control our controllables. Again, all relationships, whether professional or personal, are created, maintained, or destroyed by communication. Communication is the baseline of every relationship. Who can prove me otherwise that communication doesn't destroy or create or maintain relationships? I would love anyone who can tell me that. Because it's the foundation. It's the foundation of everything. Everything. Your personal narrative, communication. The way that I treat you, communication. Everything comes down to how we communicate. And those boundaries, the 80-20, boundaries really are a framework and a guideline of how people need to interact with us physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, financially. If we do not express it, we cannot expect it. If we do not express it, we cannot expect it. So you have to use your words. We have to communicate with each other. And you know what? We're beings of evolution. Our boundaries change. And that's a beautiful thing. That's great. That's the entire point of being a human, is to grow and evolve and change and become who we want to become intentionally through our communication, through our composition. And our behavior is how we treat people. I've heard the golden rule of treat people how you want to be treated. But what if we upgraded that and treat people how they want to be treated? I don't want to be treated the same way as some Joe Schmo down the hall. I don't know him. But do you know, who are you talking to? Who are you creating a relationship with? How do they want to be interacted with? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And then that is the capstone of our attitude. Because you know what? Everybody who lives and breathes periodically will get a chip on their shoulder. That's just human life. That's just normal. That happens. But it comes down to the baseline of communication where something didn't happen. The chip on the shoulder is either an internal or external narrative. What is it that we're cultivating in our relationships to have those healthy boundaries, to have that good behavior like, hey, I see you, I hear you, I respect you. I want us to be successful, because it takes two to have a relationship. It takes two. When you see this picture, what do you see? Just shout it out. Communication. Chaos. Sending and receiving. Misunderstanding. Pardon? Multitasking. All of those were correct. But look at the differences here. Look at all of this blue. What is going on in this person's mind that's taking up so much real estate? And then look at the pink. What's going on? A gentleman by the name of Ezra Benson said, the toughest battles we will ever face will be within the silent chambers of our own souls. The toughest battles we will ever face will be within the silent chambers of our own souls. Most of this, we will never know. We'll never see it. And so we have to lean in. with curiosity and generosity. We have to give people the benefit of the doubt that they are doing the best they can with the resources they have, because it fluctuates. Our resources fluctuate. If I get a full 8 hours of sleep, I am a way different human than if I only got 6.5. I'm like, whoa. My patience, my temperance, my ability to communicate, everything is different. But are we doing the best we can with the resources we have that day, in that moment? Because they can change, they can evolve, they can be different. Perception is your reality, and a perception is a way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something. I'm going to show you a series of 3 pictures. Every single person in here has seen this before, but the perception is going to be a little bit different. And I want you to tell me what you see. What is that? Something to what? With the eye. Okay. Something with the eye. What else? Sunburst. Okay. What else do you see? We're all looking at the same image, and we have a sunburst and we have something with the eye. Carrot. Okay. Stingray. Flower. Pumpkin stem. A cell. An orange. Like, we're all looking at the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And it was carrots. It was carrots. What about this one? I'll give you a hint. It's in a grocery store. Lettuce, what? Asparagus. Pardon? Tomatillo. Kiwi. Oh, limes. Isn't that interesting that we're all looking at the same exact picture, and yet we're seeing something totally different? We're putting our perception into this picture. We're inserting our own narrative. This one's going to throw you off, but you've all seen it. Chocolate sounds delicious. Ice cream. Roast beef. Peanut butter and chocolate ice cream. Yeah. Oh yeah. You were close. Cinnamon sticks. Isn't it fascinating that regardless of where you were sitting, we were all looking at the exact same picture, and yet we all had something different to see. We all had something different to see, which means we all have something different to add to the relationship, to our communities, to our teams. We get to have these different perceptions, and yet when we get to take a step back, we see the cinnamon sticks, we see the carrots, we see the limes. So a lot of times we have a lot of fear, a fear of communication, a fear of sharing our boundaries, a fear of like the unknown, right? But here's the deal, like we can't actually talk about fear without experiencing fear. So I'm going to show you a video clip, and I need you to pay very close attention because this is muito importante, okay?
Something that will make you do that is the infamous spike trick.
We're gonna raise the stakes a little bit. This time we're gonna use, see the point right there. So we'll up there.
This modern magic trick increases the chance of injury and pain. An exponent of the spike trick is street magician Chris Korn, who places a metal spike under polystyrene cups and tries to avoid slamming his palm onto the spike even after they're moved around.
Around a bit.
Chris didn't understand how dangerous it was. While rehearsing, I mix up the cups and I see where the spike is.
Mix them up anywhere. Remember, you can change the cups anywhere you like, or cut there. All right, and look, just so you know, there's no magnets, anything in my hands.
I see him notice where the spike is because of how the trick works. Then he raises his hand real high and slams it down on exactly the cup with the spike underneath it.
I'm just gonna wave this.
Why would you want to do that?
Oh,
It is terrible to watch. I took no pleasure in that. I mean, I watched it 7 times, but I took no pleasure in it because it is, oh, God, oh.
How did that just happen?
And that's what we're gonna do. And you might be sitting there thinking like, Carolyn, why did you show me that? Why did you show me that picture? Because I needed to invoke some fear. I needed to see who would have a visceral reaction. And there were some good ones out there. But my main lady right here, come on up. Come on up. We're gonna have a good time. What's your name? Gabby. You have insurance? Oh.
And I recently checked out the workers' comp.
Well, what a delight for both of us then, because I have insurance too. So, okay, come on around here. And I want you to look in all of his bags. Feel free to pull out and like show everyone what you're looking at and tell them what you see.
Not chocolate, block of wood with a hole in it.
Okay, okay.
Again, not speed, but a block of wood with a hole in it.
Oh, you're gonna be real disappointed about bag number 3.
Again, same thing, block of wood, hole in it. This is not rocky road, right?
That's great. Perfect.
Right?
Yeah, that's nice.
This is empty.
Oh, yeah. Because we have a different kind of dowel. What's different about that?
It's out of the bag.
It's out of the bag and there's no hole. What's that?
It's something I don't want to have. Just put it in my pocket so that you can access it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need that. Okay, so yeah, like I mean, you felt it. You like touched the tip of that.
Not really.
Just, I mean, just yeah, that's real, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we're just gonna put this little. We're gonna make sure it's set down properly. Okay. Okay, so the beautiful part about this is like we've got these bags, okay, and it's just one of those things where it's like, gosh, what is happening? Like, why is she doing this? Why is this happening? And you saw where the bag went, right?
No.
Okay, good, great.
So
Great.
colorful.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, so you might be sitting there thinking like, Carolyn, you totally know which nailed the bags in. So I'm going to turn around and you're going to move the bags like this any way you want. Cool.
So that means you're gonna slam your hand down.
Well, this is going to be evolutionary. Yeah, I think you're going to like it. Okay, so I'll turn around. You switch up the bags however you'd like. And you just let me know when you're done. Oh, that's so wonderful. Okay. This gets me super fired up because this is like, got to pop my hands because I get nervous about doing this too. So, so we're going to, just to make sure that you believe that it's not, that I don't know where this is at, right? You're going to choose which bag I will slam my hand on. So this is going to be bag 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Can't we have like Monty Hall bring a bag down?
I wish I was that cool, but I have not reached that level yet. Okay, so we're just gonna move it right back. So you can we're just gonna do this. Is that the one you want me to slam?
Oh, sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to know, like, when I do this, like, if the nail's going through, it's gonna be a clean cut. Like, I'm not. Okay. Got one down. Oh, honey, it's about to get real good, real good, real good. Okay. Okay, then okay, 1, 2, or 3. 3. Okay. All right. Okay. So just to make sure that you remember what we're up against, I need you to pay attention.
The Russian roulette routine I was telling you about called stigmata. What it is, it uses a knife, 4 styrofoam cups, and a turntable. The knife goes in a turntable where it can spin around, and then I cover up the knife with one of the styrofoam cups. The remaining 3 spots are also covered up with styrofoam cups, and then I spin it fast enough that nobody can see where it goes. In a live performance, I might obstruct the view of the audience for just a bit so that neither me nor the audience knows where the knife is. And then I make my psychic selection, and if all goes well, oh, ta-da!
This is where this evolves. I'm going to let you choose which bag you're going to slam your hand on.
No, I'm not.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
really,
Yep. I can help you. Choose a bag.
really.
Choose a bag. Yep. You've got this. Let's give her a round of applause. This is scary. You've got this. That one. Okay. Okay. We can do this together. We've got this. Okay. Wait, just right that. Okay, you ready? On the count of 2.
Oh, yeah, let's use.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Good call, Brooke.
Okay, okay, you ready?
No.
Woo. Okay, this is why we've got this together.
Mhm.
Many hands like make light work. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. You're like, have a seat. You've got it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you have a seat. But you see, the thing that we have been fearing has been in this bag. It's been in this bag. And you know what's ridiculous? Is it's all an illusion. Look. I took it out. And it might have fallen down my pants. So it's out somewhere. So, found it. The nails are not real. What nails are you holding on to that are an illusion? What nails are you personally crucifying yourself with? What is that? We're going to take the next 2 minutes and we're going to think about that. Because if we don't think about this now, if we don't think about this in the moment of what we just experienced, it's going to be gone. What nails do you need to release? What shoulds do you need to let go? Let it go. By raise of hand, how many of you thought of something? The toughest battles we will ever face will be within the silent chambers of our own souls. Lean in with that generosity, lean in with that curiosity. Make sure that your boundaries are known. Make sure that you communicate that. You have to use your words. You evolve every single day. Every single day. And that's the beautiful part of this life, is that we get to grow and evolve together, and we have to check each other because these nails are not real. Thank you.